Definitely it was difficult in the beginning to accept that I will not be able to be on the races. But then, I start to realize that the things in life happen with a reason, At that moment, I didn't see the reason why this happened, but maybe my body needs a little bit more to recharge, For the past couple of years, with the COVID, with all these things, my body didn't have time to completely switch off, to recharge, and was really exhausted. I treat, let's say, this time as well to recharge the batteries, and then I can go for the future. I took my time to really heal 100%, and then to go on the bike, to get back in, let's say, good shape, and then I was ready to come to Loket.
Guess what, folks? Tim Geiser, the return of the reigning champion, and he only went faster in the time practice session, didn't he, by 3/4 of a second over his teammate Ruben Fernandez, an HRC 1-2. Somebody joked with me earlier on today, I didn't think he would make the top 10. I went, well, he did better than that. He dropped the 0 and went P1. Good to see you, Tim. Good to have you back.
I think it's so nice to have Tim Geiser back in the paddock. He's the reigning world champion, so he's an important part of the sport, even this year, and to not have him lining up behind the gate is a massive loss. But also from a personal side, he's a rider that always has a smile on his face. Whether he's winning or whether he's losing, he's always a pleasure to be around.
I want to treat that season, last couple of GPs, for a good training, also do some testing during the races, I think it's always really important to be ready for next year.
Here's Prado, though, and Jorge Prado, out of the last couple of corners, it's going to be round qualifying race win number 8 for the Red Bull Gas rider, cruises to victory here in Loket and gains another couple of points on Roman Febvre, the gap going from 103 to 105 points.
I think Tim's made a point of making his return back to racing when he knows he can be competitive and he's at the level where he should be. I don't think he's come back thinking, he's just going to be running around in 10th or anything like that. I think he knows that he's at that level where he's going to be crucial to the championship standings. And I think him being on the start line now is going to be pivotal to how the championship is going to pan out. He's going to get in the mix between Prado, between Febvre, between Siwa, and he's going to play his part, and I think that part is going to be crucial towards the end of the year.
Kje pa so naši?
Šli so v Geiserju.
To je boljše.
Jaz se zaradi tega so sem.
Yeah, the times are really close. The start is gonna be really important. Okay, let's go. Still one of the closest rounds to Slovenia, and just a lot of Slovenian fans here, so it's always nice to race here, and I'm just looking forward to the race. You know, most of the fans are like in the first corner after the start, and it's always nice to go through there, always cheering me on, so it's really nice. Always nice to look for the little kids coming up, so let's hope they do the best. Not a great start by them, but it is what it is.
I think coming from Slovenia, being a motocross racer, it's not easy, you know. Slovenia is a super small country. Just a little bit over 2 million people live there. The market of motocross is not that big there. You know, if we compare, I don't know, Italy or Belgium or Holland or Spain, you know, the countries are way bigger and maybe the popularity of motocross is way bigger. But I think now, last couple of years, when with my success and also Jan being so good, having a good races in MX2 class, I think the sport motocross in Slovenia is growing, and there is way more interested people about that sport, you know, and even we can see young kids coming up wanting to ride dirt bikes. And that's really good for the future, you know.
Time to get ready. I have to prepare the goggles on my own. Pretty hot today, so but it's only 20 minutes per laps. Should be okay.
You got things by yourself, right?
Yeah, almost every time, so. And I always like prepare almost last minute. The start is pretty long, so it's not just gonna be the good reflexes from the gate, but you have to be good on getting that traction on the rear wheel. So I'll try my best. Here is really important to start because the track is pretty not so big, so pretty much one line all the track, or you need to like prepare your pass. So start is gonna be important, but start or no start, we push.
Coming from Slovenia, you know, to reach really the top of the top, to came in MXGP class or MX2, to race in World Championship, the road is definitely difficult, but it's not impossible. So if you are willing to work hard, you know, let's say sacrifice your life, give everything for motocross, on the end you have to success. Jan is a good guy. Maybe sometimes he looks like a little bit shy, you know. He don't talk to many people, but he's really good guy. We also train sometimes together on my track. And I really have a lot of respect to him and to his father, you know, especially what they are doing with a private team that, yeah, it's his team actually, and traveling all around the world. This year they even go to Argentina, to both of Indonesia races, so they have to sacrifice a lot, you know, because they don't have a support from a factory team, or I don't know, a team that can provide the bikes. They always have to take care of their bikes, and we have to know that it's not just racing, you know, a lot of things happening during the week as well. You have to train, you have to service the bike, you have to clean the bike, and I think they are doing that alone, and yeah, just heads down, you know, to them, because they really believe, and I think they are a good team. And it's super nice to have such a good rider from Slovenia.
really big difference for Czech.
Just watching Andrea Adamo in free practice and time practice here in Czech Republic, it's clear that he's now getting used to being there. He's getting used to being in red. He's gaining in confidence. He doesn't feel that pressure anymore of the championship leader's red plate. From that side, if he continues that momentum, all of a sudden, everybody else behind, they need to figure out a way to step things up and to rein him back in, because if he gets too far away, that confidence is only going to start getting higher and higher. And then when you've got a rider that is riding on that kind of confidence, it makes it not impossible, just makes it difficult for the other riders to kind of figure out a way to sort of pull back some of those points.
But it is Langenfelder who leads away from Evans, who does get that good start. Then Kuhnen, Sasha Kuhnen, Isaac Gifting, and then Adamo. Just biding his time though, Andrea Adamo. And wow, Parks, Isaac Gifting, Adamo picking up a position, moving up into 4th place. Oh, and the KTM rider goes over the bar. So Kuhnen then out of 3rd place. Yeah, and Adamo inherits that position. Meanwhile, Adamo has closed in on his teammate Liam Evans. But Adamo definitely looking like he's got the measure of Evans, and he's going to charge down the inside here. And he does. All but Parks, his teammate, jumps into 2nd position. So Adamo is really closing him down now. And watch the uphill, there is Langenfelder, and here's Adamo. Adamo may get his wish here and get his first grand qualifying race win of the season, putting Langenfelder under pressure. He knows he has to be close here, and oh, he does. Jumps down the inside. He didn't wait to the bottom end of the circuit. Looks across. Langenfelder's the other side of him. And Adamo leads on lap 7. The Red Bull KTM rider wins his first grand qualifying race of the season. Takes 10 points, the maximum points, and extends his lead from 26 to 36.
So what Adamo is doing now is working, but can he sustain that? Adamo in race 1, Loket. I'm not sure what he was doing at the start, but somehow he was buried way back.
It's a Yamaha through the middle, Heerts and Horkmo and Sasha Kuhnen. But it's Heerts for the 6th time this year as riders go down. And is that Adamo, is that Evans? What a start for Adamo as well, down in 24th position, and with a full grid of 39, 40 riders, he has got a lot of work to do on a track that is notoriously difficult to pass on.
But he was using his confidence and using that speed that he has, and he was making good passes very, very quickly.
Wow, Adamo already up into 11th place, so he has already found his way past, what, 10 or 12 riders?
Until he came up to Rick Elzinga.
As we focus on Adamo.
And through the waves.
Up the inside of Elzinga, too easy.
Adamo made the pass, but then as he ran him wide, that allowed Rick to cut back to the inside.
But up the inside and turns him inside out. Adamo down. All that work to do again. Wow. He left the door open, he went by, left the door open for attack. Watch this here, and Elzinger, well, he just held his line, and that was it. The two lines came together, Adamo upside down and back to front.
That's why I think it's a 50-50, because both riders know exactly what situation they are in, and both riders are fighting for every position, even Rick. Okay, he's not leading the championship, he's not top 5, but he has to fight for every point, for every position. He needs those points just as much as Adamo does, who's leading the World Championship.
Iago Kids crosses the line to win race 1 here in Loket. He moves to 3rd in the championship. But the Italian loses out. Elzinger crosses the line in 10th, Adamo 11th.
I think our current red plate holder, Andrea Adamo, it's clear that he knows that he has to step it up and push. And we saw that in Loket. We saw that in the qualifying races. By far, he is the fastest. He knows that Iago Hirtz is back. He knows that. So he knows that he cannot afford to relax in any way, shape or form. He knows how important those points are. He knows that he has the target on his back now with that red plate, and he knows Iago Hirtz is right behind him, picking off those points. And we saw that in his racing. We saw that intensity. And I think there's going to be quite a few intense battles between him and Iago towards the end of the year.
Andrea Adamo, over the last few rounds, he's obviously working hard, he's got a great team around him, and he's obviously figured out how to win races, how to get starts.
Trying to go around the outside of Hirtz, who goes defensive. He may leave the door open here, and he does. But Adamo goes through on McClellan.
But he's also showing us how big his heart is, that how hard he is prepared to push.
Adamo makes a move down the inside to take second position away from Sasha Kunin.
To say that we've gone 12 rounds and he's just picked up his first qualifying race win.
Got the advantage this time, bottom of the hill. Adamo now into the lead.
And he's picked up his first race win in MX2.
Uphill to win race 2 here in Loket, and that's a big win for him as well. But it's not enough to win the Grand Prix.
And he's leading the championship. It's like, where has he been? You know, where have these race wins been hiding? Now that he has that race win, or those race wins, I think we're going to see a different Adamo again. Another one now that the pressure of that first win is no longer there.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the MXGP of Czech Republic at Loket, round 12 of the FI Motocross World Championship with me, Paul Malin, and the rest of the team here. Been a fantastic weekend so far, glorious weather throughout, 34 degrees on Saturday, huge overnight storms ahead of today's action, but the circuit is absolutely pristine. What a view that is as well. Loket Castle up on the hill, right down in the bottom of the valley. There is the river as well. But we are up here on the hillside looking down on all of that. And it really is very, very spectacular indeed.
Tim, it's so good to have you back here on the start line. Just tell us how you were feeling coming into this first GP of the year for you. Nervous or excited? What kind of emotions were you feeling?
I'm really excited, you know. Also yesterday when I went first time on the track, I was super pumped, you know, super happy to be here. And today we have a really nice crowd, you know. It's nice weather as well, not too hot. So for us riders, it's better, let's say, than yesterday. Yesterday was really hot. But anyway, just happy to be here. I will just give my best, you know. There is no pressure, but of course I want to do well.
You say there's no pressure. Yesterday, fastest in time practice, P6 in qualifying, the RAM qualifying race. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm quite happy, you know. Like I said, didn't put any pressure, didn't put any really goals where I want to finish. Already the win is to be here. Yeah, I'm super happy. Like I said so many times, you know, it's been way too long for me, you know, being away from racing. Even in my career, I never had, I had many injuries, but never such a big one that put me away from the motorbike for so many months, you know. So it was not easy, but I'm happy that now this is behind me and I can focus ahead on the future.
Gate drops. And it's Fevre and Prado. And Prado looks like he's just come out of there for the first time in this first race. Box-off shot number 9 for the Spaniard, but Fevre ran the outside at the third time of asking, didn't get a good drive through the wave section, and all of a sudden it's Fevre who takes that gift with both hands. Up and over the finish line for the first time, holding off in third, Valandra in fourth, Seawer fifth, Van Hormeyck in sixth, Evans seventh, and then Nedved, Geiser in ninth, Fernandez 10th. For Fevre, who is already 2.2 seconds clear on a circuit that he has won twice on in the past. Roman Fevre looks over his shoulder, the run down to the finish line, and the Kawasaki man wins race 1 here in Loket. He was second, less than a second further back. Prado will hang on for third. Trying to work his magic, Roman Fevre. Trying to slip up the inside of the Swiss. And Fevre looking to make a move at the top of the hill, and he's alongside him. Oh, we've got to ride it down, it's Fevre! Fevre's down, it's Valandra going to win this race. Hands on the heads down there as well. I think Valandra is leading the race.
How expensive was Roman Fevre's mistake? The biggest loss is the points he lost by dropping from first to fourth. So when you look at that 7 points, we are running out of rounds.
So Fevre down from first to fourth. He's still going to win by a point, but it's not going to be the 1-1. And Calvin Valandra cruises downhill. He wins race 2. It's his 6th career race victory. He wins it here in Loket. He's not going to be on the podium though. Roman Fevre will cross the line, 4th. He will win 3 in a row.
In terms of him and any hopes of clawing that gap and taking big strides. That was a perfect opportunity, especially when we found out afterwards that, you know, Jorge wasn't feeling well and therefore wasn't riding well because of that. He was still able to pick up good points. So in that instance, you have to say it was a better Grand Prix for Jorge than it was for Roman, even though Roman stood on the top step of the podium.
3 in a row, win number 18 now for Roman Febvre. And Antti Pyränen on the podium again. Getting used to being up there, isn't he?
For Roman Febvre to win 3 GPs in a row is pretty impressive, because the last time, the only time he did that was 2015 when he was world champion. And that year he won 4 in a row. Standing on the top step of an MXGP podium, the toughest class of all, in the toughest conditions of all, it means something, and it means everything to some people as well.